Winston Peters, Labour, Greens and Te Pāti Māori are doomed. Think Trump, think Hanson and think Farage. Got the picture? Then think New Zealand. Yes, MMP makes the big picture a little more complex, but here's what is very likely to happen if overseas trends continue and spill over into New Zealand on the 7th of November 2026. The New Zealand voting public will deliver a striking message, a desire for political disruption, a recalibration of national priorities, and a rejection of the status quo. The result will represent one of the most significant realignments in New Zealand's political culture since the introduction of MMP. The US, UK, and Australia will be watching. National and ACT will share around 37% to 40% of the vote between them, but New Zealand First will surge to their highest ever in history, spearheaded by one of the country's greatest politicians, Winston Peters. New Zealand First is likely to surge ahead and gain around 20 to 24% of the vote if the country follows current overseas trends, and that, if I might say so, would be a fantastic result for all New Zealanders and the country. Why? Let's dive deeper. 1. The populist vote. Voters are seeking a party that speaks directly to their anxieties around sovereignty, cultural cohesion, and the pace of social change, reflecting that mainstream parties have failed to address concerns about national identity, immigration settings, and the erosion of local control. Such a shift mirrors trends seen overseas, where voters gravitate towards parties that promise to restore balance or put the country first. In this scenario, New Zealand First becomes the vessel for those sentiments. Make New Zealand great again. Why not? Sounds good to me. 2. Dissatisfaction with centrist management. National will still be the largest party, but only narrowly, indicating many voters no longer see the traditional centre-right as sufficient to address economic pressures or cultural unease. This reflects a public mood that views National as competent but not transformative, steady but not bold. Right now, New Zealand definitely needs bold. The country is screaming loud and clear, we want change, not just managerial change, we want a shift in direction. This also mirrors patterns in countries where centre-right parties are losing ground to more assertive or populist alternatives. 3. A desire for sharper policy direction. The ACT Party would still represent a meaningful bloc of voters prioritising deregulation, individual freedoms, and a more assertive stance on government overreach. The public still wants clearer ideological direction rather than centrist compromise. However, ACT being overtaken by New Zealand First implies that cultural and sovereignty issues have become more salient than purely economic or libertarian concerns. New Zealand cannot progress while living in the Stone Age. The Waitangi Tribunal has to go. Similarly, the Maori electoral seats and the Maori electoral roll have to be abolished. Systemic racism has to go. There is no place in a modern New Zealand for any form of treaty principles, because there are no principles in the first place. There are only 3 articles, and they're easy to understand. The scam gravy train has left the building. The iwi blackmail extortion must stop. Men are men and women are women, and sick men don't get to play with little girls in their private toilet space. English is our language, and the country is called New Zealand. For those who don't believe this, just wait till the 7th of November 2026. Just wait. People are so sick of being talked down to and treated this way. A strong New Zealand First result indicates that many voters feel these issues have not been adequately addressed by either major party. It reflects a huge desire for recalibration of social policy and a slowing of reforms that have been far too rapid and insufficiently debated. 4. A warning to the political establishment. Perhaps the most important interpretation is that the result will be a rebuke to both major parties. Labour has lost touch with Middle New Zealand concerns and their traditional base, which is an obvious no-brainer to anyone at the moment, while the National Party has been insufficiently responsive to cultural and economic anxieties. The public are signalling a desire for a complete recalibration of the country's trajectory, and they want to start now, and they want to start today. In fact, they expected and wanted to start nearly 3 years ago. Conclusion. New Zealand is seeking a firmer footing in uncertain times, reflecting a public mood shaped by cost of living pressures and cultural debates, where voters increasingly turn to parties that promise to restore control, stability and national confidence. Labour, Greens and Te Pāti Māori are dead in the water. They are doomed. Mark my words. Go Winston Peters and New Zealand First. Your country needs you. Thank you for listening. WhangāreiTim.